Just like that, there is the first signing for Wrexham Football Club of the summer transfer window. A name that has been rumoured over the past couple of transfer windows has finally got across the line. Ryan Hardie is a Wrexham player. He has signed a 3-year contract until 2028. So yeah, finally some big news coming from the football club. Finally a confirmed signing. Of course, Ryan Hardie putting pen to paper on an undisclosed fee. I've had this video prepared for at least a week now because it was nailed on that Hardie was going to sign for Wrexham. He was rumoured in the January transfer window. We believe an approach was made in January, but the deal didn't get across the line. But Parky has gone all out to make him our first summer signing as he signs on an undisclosed fee from recently relegated Plymouth Argyle. Before we get into today's video, if you'd like to see more Wrexham AFC content, I'll be bringing you everything happening at the football club over the course of this summer and next season, so make sure to get down there and click the red subscribe button. We're on the road to 28,000 subscribers. Enough of the waffle, let's get talking about our first signing of the summer. So Hardie is a 28-year-old striker who has really made a name for himself in the EFL, especially with now League One side Plymouth Argyle, where he totalled 248 appearances, scoring 74 goals for the Devon side. And it's worth noting that 22 of those 74 goals have come in the past 2 seasons in the Championship for Plymouth. Now, being Scottish, Hardie obviously started his career at Rangers, where he only made a handful of appearances before moving on to the likes of Wraith Rovers, St Mirren and Livingston, where he played a couple of games here and there. I think he was at Livingston before he made the switch over to the EFL for Blackpool. Again, only made a handful of appearances there, but Plymouth Argyle took the chance on Hardie, and it was a chance that very much paid off. He had multiple seasons at them, nearly 250 appearances, 74 goals. And if we are looking at Hardie last season in the Championship, we all know it, Plymouth Argyle did get relegated. It was a bit of a mess of a season, of course, having their first half under Wayne Rooney, him getting sacked, Music coming in. But Hardie personally, I think, was one of the better players in that Plymouth side. Now, they obviously got relegated to League One. He still registered 13 goals and assists in 28 starts for Plymouth, which, if you know anything, for a recently relegated side, a team that he probably wasn't getting good service at, to get 13 goals and assists is a very, very good return. And despite obviously it being one of Plymouth's worst seasons to date, it was one of his best seasons to date. He specifically performed well in front of goal in the second half of the season when Miron Music was appointed as Plymouth manager. That second half of the season, he was easily one of the best goal-scoring strikers in the Championship for statistics. Since Music was appointed as Plymouth manager, he recorded 11 goals and assists in just 18 games, proving to be one of the most on-form strikers in the second half of the Championship campaign. Now, Music obviously saw the potential in Hardie and he unlocked it straight away. 11 goals and assists in just 18 games is a very good return for, again, like I keep saying, a team that got relegated, a team that wasn't filled with quality. It looked to be a change in formation, a tactic tweak for obviously the whole Plymouth team and for Hardie as a striker that just really got the best out of him, and he got the players around him getting in that service in the box. And Hardie was always there at the right time. He's that fox in the box. It's fair to say Music, of course, before departing to Schalke, definitely got the best out of Ryan Hardie. And if he would have stayed at Plymouth, would Hardie have gone obviously to Wrexham? Now, I think it's fair to say if he's under the right manager and under, the right tactics with the players around him, he is a striker that is going to score goals for you. Like I've just said, having looked at his goals from last season in the Championship, it's very clear that Hardie is just a natural goal scorer, and there were multiple occasions as well where he'd hit the bar or he'd hit a shot that had just gone wide of the post, and he probably could have got a lot more than 13 goals and assists last season if, obviously luck was on his side. The amount of times where, like I've said, just shots just went wide of the post, hit the crossbar post, etc. He was really unlucky on a couple of occasions, but he's a sharpshooter, great eye for goal, and like I said, knows where the back of the net is, especially in a team that was very bad. You think he's coming to Wrexham this season in a team where he's going to get great service if we go out and sign that centre attacking midfielder, if we have, that right and left wing back that are going to constantly create chances for Hardie. Get those players on the pullbacks for Hardie to make the right space, which he has done so many times in a Plymouth shirt, getting away from his man to find that space. And if you just watch some of his highlights, you can clearly see why he is a striker that consistently hits double digits every single season he plays, because he's always, like I said, in the right place at the right time. He is a fox in the box, and I think that's one of the reasons why Phil Parkinson is such a big fan, is because he's just a natural goal scorer. He does what a striker is meant to do, and I have no doubt this season, in the right setup at Wrexham, he's going to continue hitting double digits. And if we're looking at the type of striker that Hardie is, he's more of a Marriott type of player, not in terms of size and height, etc., but he just has plenty of movement off the ball, will offer the press up front, you know, like Jack Marriott does when he's in the starting 11. He will just consistently press, unease the defence, and of course we all know it, he has a good eye for goal, he can score goals, so I think Parky really wants that terrier up front that, like I said, is going to unease the defence, create that chance by just that constant press up front, which is what we're going to need in the Championship, because it is a lot of possession-based football. We're going to be playing a lot of teams that will put their foot on the ball, invite the opposition to press them, to obviously, you know, make the openings and make the passing sequences. But if we've got that striker up front that's constantly uneasing the defence with that consistent press, then I can only see that being as a good thing. And to have him up front as well, scoring goals. He scored double digits in the 2 seasons he was in the Championship. We're signing a striker that can score goals, and I think at the end of the day, that's all that really matters. If we're looking now at our options up front, I've literally just uploaded a video, probably about an hour before this one's gone up, talking about Paul Mullin and Ollie Palmer's future. I think this signing now massively puts their spot in this Wrexham squad in jeopardy, and I think it is nailed on now for at least one of them to leave the club. You think we've now got on the books Ryan Hardie, Paul Mullin, Ollie Palmer, Jay Rodriguez, Sam Smith, Mo Farrell and Jack Marriott. That is 7 strikers in our squad. We need to see at least 3 of those depart, and if I'm going off my instincts, it will probably be Mo Farrell on loan, you're looking at Mullin, and I think you're looking at Ollie Palmer now. The words I've said in my last video, a 16-minute long video on the duo, was probably just all gone out of the window, because like I said, this has massively put their space in jeopardy in this matchday squad and really just increases their chances of being left out a lot, and I think it decreases their chances of getting into that squad and back into that starting 11 unless they have a really good pre-season. I for one don't think Palmer gets back in it at all. I think that is Palmer gone. Mullin maybe has a slightly better chance, of course, being on a longer contract. But having said that, Ollie Palmer's just signed a long-term contract like 6-7 months ago, so it's going to be really interesting to see what does happen in the striking department. But Parky obviously wanted a striker that was Championship proven, had scored goals at this level and has, you know, had a couple of really good seasons under his belt, and it makes it even better, of course, with Plymouth going down. They're probably more entitled to sell Hardie for a cheaper fee, which could be a reason why Parky held out for Hardie in the January transfer window compared, of course, now to the end of the season where they have got relegated to League One. So it's a very interesting situation. If that is the logic from Parky, then we have to give him a massive pat on the back. He's clearly a striker that has been on his radar for a long time now, at least I would say a year. I think there were rumours back in the summer of Hardie joining, and then there was concrete interest in January, but he's done the right thing, waited until the summer, and we've probably got him on a cheaper deal. But Hardie as well said, you know, he's got plenty of experience in the Championship in his interview at Wrexham, and, you know, he really wants to use that experience in this Wrexham side. He's got plenty of goals under his belt at this level, so it's only a good thing, and I'm very, very happy with this signing. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. Do you think it's a good signing? Of course, we're looking at his stats. He scored goals in the Championship before. He looks like, you know, that real terrier up front that's going to unease the defence, that consistent press. He's got a good eye for goal. That's all you can really want from a striker. A lot of you are probably thinking as well, why are we signing a striker that's recently got relegated to League One? If we're being honest and if we're looking at this, he was probably one of their best attacking threats over the past couple of seasons since they've been in the Championship, and he was definitely destined to stay in the Championship next season, and it's Wrexham that have got him to sign on the dotted line, and I'm very, very happy about this. So like I said, let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. Make sure to subscribe, like, do all that good stuff, and I'll see you in another video. What a relief it is, and what a brilliant bit of news this is to announce our first signing of the summer. Let's hope it's one of many more to come in the next few weeks. Till then, take care guys. Up the Championship Reds.